blessed unity with the L-O-V-E. Love is the solution, so set your love free with the L-O-V-E. Further evolution and blessed unity.
Good morning, self-lovers. Welcome back to the Self-Love Show. I'm your co-host, Dawn Light, and my beautiful sister here, Trish Wright, is with us. She's also the co-host. And if you're new to the Self-Love Show, thank you for tuning in. We are so grateful for your presence with us. And in case you don't know, we want to give all our viewers an opportunity to go to the Self-Love Show YouTube channel and like, share, and subscribe. It's super important because all the beautiful opportunities that are coming through this show to showcase all the sacred work that is coming through and the wide umbrella of topics around self-love, right? There's so much accessible gems that come forward through this show. And we really want to give people the opportunity to go back through and watch the previous shows or send them to your loved one if they know they're struggling with something or they need this little activation, whatever it may be. Just, it's such a gem and a gift to have that accessible. So go there, check it out, like, share, and subscribe, please. And also on the Facebook channel, too, for the show itself, please like it, heart it, show us with the algorithm to help boost this because it's not about us. It's about broadcasting the message of self-love out to all that need it. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. And yes, it's about our beautiful guest today. I'm going to read her bio. And without further ado, I want to introduce Meg Benedicte. She is an incredible healer, and I'm going to read her beautiful bio for our show today. So the path of self-love involves gentle, compassionate healing, heart healing. We must clean our inner self so that we can merge with the sacred master soul, embodying the divine I am presence. The path of ascension is circular. As we focus our intentions into inner self-healing, we prepare the body vessel for crystalline conversation. The inner work translates and circulates into outer access. The core wound healing unlocks the multidimensional heart crystal to come alive, activating the inner heart stargate home. It is not an out-of-body experience, but a deep inner pathway to core quantum access through the heart crystal. Your unique soul kundalini embodiment fuels the dormant crystalline light body energetics. The heart-centered timeline is calling us home, and the heart healing supplies what we need to shift and adjust into the new earth timeline. Yes, the 5D earth plane pulses in the love vibration with empathy and compassion for all life on this planet. Drawing on 25 years as a quantum healer, Meg Benedicte collaborated with AA Metatron in creating the quantum access modality, a cutting-edge alchemical tool for spiritual activation and evolutionary transformation. The method of altering physical reality is the sacred tradition of alchemy that was taught in the ancient mystery schools. Quantum access is the most effective accelerated method to unlock trapped emotional, mental, chemical density from the body, heart, mind. Through the gradual healing and clearing of trauma, energetic blockages, and astral interference, ancestral patterning, and core wounding, quantum access assists with activating the energy body, opening communication with higher self, and building soul embodiment. Meg will guide participants through quantum access activation protocols and time-tested practical steps for multi-dimensional transformation with the most advanced tool in existence to accelerate personal spiritual awakening. Yes! Meg Benedicte is a quantum healer, spiritual teacher, new earth way shower, and creator of the quantum access modality. Working closely with AA Metatron, Meg teaches ascension training and protocols at her Quantum Access Academy. Meg is an avid explorer of the ancient mystery school tradition and offers quantum access to clients, students, and global audiences to enhance living soul purpose and embodiment. Wow, amazing. Welcome, Meg.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you, Trish. Such a pleasure to be here with you both and everyone who's joining us. Very excited.
I just love the work you're doing in the world. It's so great. Like, this is I'm sure it's such life-changing for your clients and students.
It was definitely life-changing for me to go through this process myself as well. That's kind of where I started, through trial and error, and thank God I had the wisdom of Metatron walking the path with me, or I don't know if I'd make it here, but it was, he kind of fed me little breadcrumbs, try this, do this, let's go here, and slowly but surely beginning to gain kind of a comprehensive understanding of how this process works and how we can apply it to ourselves. And then that helps us apply it to the world. So yeah, it's been literally life transforming, because think of it, kind of coming out of living in constant fear and anxiety and insecurities, and then moving into this incredible kind of state of being that is, I think of it more as kind of moving from the rat race, right? Trying to struggle and effort and keep up. And then so it's kind of pushing your energy out. Instead, I had to train myself to do this, to learn how to receive in. And that's been part of this process. I think that's really turned things around.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautifully put.
I'm just really fascinated by sort of like, so there's this quantum understanding that's sifting up to the collective consciousness surface that we all can be like, oh, and take in, and I'm freaking digging it like in a big way. I'm curious. I'd love to talk about, okay, the way that my brain works is just the way it works, and all these questions just randomly pop up. So we're going through some wild planetary and consciousness shifting right now, and I don't know if anyone else can feel it, but some of it feels like ripping, and some of it feels really opening to me. This is my experience, but I'm curious about how you see this, Meg. Like, there's lots of shifts on this very human level, and there's a lot of other, quantum movements as well. And I'd love to hear your opinion about it.
Okay, sure. When I first had my spiritual awakening in the early 90s, everything was very rigid and fixed and locked in. And so it was a very different field, if we want to call it the field. It was a very different field for earthlings back then. But since 2012, and that's when I was drawn to go to Mount Shasta, that solstice 2012 was a big deal. And I think people expected it to be kind of different than it was. They thought, I guess they were going to get beamed up into ships and stuff. I don't know, but it was not that. It was actually the unlocking of what we call the control matrix, or the artificial simulation that's running in the field. So that was amazing, because then so for 10 years, all of that, what I call the top-down pyramidal power structure, it's a very imbalanced power structure, that is all unraveling and decomposing, and it's dying, actually. And it's getting replaced with this new Earth operating system, or new Earth timeline, however you connect to it, or whatever you want to call it. For a better word, I just call it the new Earth timeline. But it's think of it, so it's not where it's just total destruction and then we are extinct. It's where we're swapping operating systems. So the old one is dying and decaying, and especially when we go into, since we moved into the 2000s, and now we're at, right today is this year's a 222. So this is a very powerful year of launching this new operating system for everybody. So it's, just kind of, if you stick to internet terms or computer terms with operating system, we are having a lot of what I'd call glitches, so the field might feel like, almost like you feel like I'm walking up like, whoa, okay, we just had a ripple effect there, and I'm seeing all this peripheral movement. I'm seeing a lot of like glitches going on. Like, it is definitely a shift happening. for the whole planet into the new operating system. So we're moving from a top-down imbalanced power structure, a pyramidal power structure, or hierarchy power structure, and we're moving into a circular one. And that's the difference. And if you can kind of get in your mind, like, if you know, like a goddess moon circle, we're moving into a circular system that circulates and regenerates and resources instead of draining and destroying the resources, right? We're moving into this movement, and it's the feminine, is a feminine circular movement. Although it's not a matriarchy, we're moving into a balanced union, of both the powerful feminine and masculine. But it takes an adjustment, as we are in the adjustment period, I think, from this year for the next 10 years. So the first 10 years from 2012 was just like, everything's just kind of purging and clearing and decomposing, and it was not fun, it was not easy. But now I think, especially those who were awakened years ago and been working this process, we're really moving into living in this new, very supportive, regenerative, and equitable, right? There's no one dominating. Now it's where we collaborate together, which I'm so excited about. And so that's what I think you're feeling. We are getting a lot of solar activity, that's bringing in new consciousness and helping kind of the breakdown of the old programming. So yeah, so I say, I tell people, don't resist the decomposition, don't resist the extraction out of that old system. We're all moving in at our own pace, and what's comfortable for us that we can handle, but kind of, get that heart and go right into it, like embrace what's going on, because once you get on the other side of it, it's pretty phenomenal. I know.
Yes.
It's true. First law in spirit is acceptance, right? So having acceptance for what is breaking down in our life is going to assist the shift even faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't
whatever that is for you. But as that old paradigm is falling away in your own life, what no longer is serving you, then it's allowing your heart to attune to what can be coming in, which is the new vibration, to help you attune to like the love essence that you are, to really exponentially grow that in your field and in your life and all your relationships, and then your life gets better on every level.
On every level. But it is like peeling the onion. You do have to kind of get these top heavy, dense layers, because we're born into that system. So, it is a bit of a peeling away, kind of the false self, right? And the ego control, that just kind of move all that out, or just heal and transmute it. And, it takes some personal time. It's not going to happen overnight. It is a process. But as you get free of that density and trauma and all that was, collected on you through multiple lifetimes, we're not just clearing this lifetime, we're clearing all our earthly incarnations. I mean, that's a major, big task to take on.
I know. Yes.
And some of us are choosing to do it for others as well.
Yeah. Yes. Because as you get to the heart of who you are, right? That's your service, that's your purpose. And so, yes, it was such a compelling force in me. I could not start to work with others and share what I was going through and learning on my own as well. Yeah, it's just as that heart gets really full of your soul essence, the soul wants to go out, right, and create in the world and be of service. And so to follow the heart as it guides you. Yes.
Yeah.
I love what you said.
Yes, beautiful.
I love what you said about like leaning into the decomposition. And for those who are afraid of change or death or transition, there's like so many things I have to calm down. I'm excited. Okay. For those of you who are afraid of that, I know that it sounds scary to even look in, or even to like peek through the curtain of what's on the other side. And it takes a lot of trust. It takes a lot of choosing to allow some of those things to dissolve. So, I mean, we've all heard of ego deaths. We've all heard of these things, and you can choose to go into it and create a container of deep self-care around them. Like, if you know that you're going to work with Meg, I wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just going to go on with my day. I would probably choose some deep self-care after working.
Yeah, you will need it.
or myself, because you know that what the medicine that we're packing is going to be incredibly soul shifting or mind shifting. The human body and the human brain is actually, it's a really efficient, and in some ways it has a slow operating system or slow updating system. And it takes a lot of, compassion. Like, you got to insert that, you got to install compassion into the human brain and body to actually keep moving forward there, because it's like, if you get stuck in the old paradigm of shame, blame, the systems of oppression or the matrix of oppression that keep us in the places that separate, those are the things that are going to stop you and keep you in the crunchy. So talk to us a little bit about courageously leaning in.
Yes, good point, because it is a bit scary. And I think for our little human self inside, right, it's afraid of what it's going to find in there. And so it's good to have a support system. It's good to have someone that you feel safe with. And I encourage, having another pair of eyes and a heart there with you if you are afraid of it, to look at it. I tend to I've had to get help as well. I've done, when I first started, I couldn't read my own field very well, because that was all so dense, and that human was like, we're not going there, so I started with what I could, and I did breath work and body work and acupuncture, and just like start to get the energy moving, start to get some of this density off, right? Meditation, getting in nature. There's so much that you can do, and that those to me are some of our self-care treatments that we provide for ourselves. You might find you resonate with maybe a healing circle that you can meet in, or a meditation circle, or something that just supports this process for you. Don't feel like you have to do it alone. I did so much of this alone, because back then there weren't too much of this out there. And I wish I had someone like me that I could have worked with myself. I have that thought all the time. I'm like, dang, I would have gone so much easier and faster. But it's just, find your niche, find your tribe, and of course your heart's going to take you to your tribe, right? So and I think too, because when I first started, my heart was so blocked and wounded. That's why I had to do breath work. I could barely even breathe, right? Everything was so locked in there and so dense. It was just slowly beginning to open even the chi into my heart. But then once you open and get in there, it's like, oh my Lordy, there's all the grief and there's the core wounding. Okay, now I got to go into that next. So you just, as it comes up to your awareness, just work with what comes up. Your higher self. Oh my goodness, trust your higher self. Your higher self is guiding you step by step what you are ready for. So nothing's going to come that, you can't really be in that energy. It would be counterproductive for the soul to throw us into something that we're not ready for. So just trust that your spirit team, your angels, your higher self is, bringing in what you're ready to work on in that time. And then, as we're talking about, each layer that is released, each healing that you do, you go higher and higher in frequency, higher and lighter in your own energetics. And it's the gradual improvement. Everything starts to get easier. And I go now through the day, and I'm just in that beautiful 0 point in the heart. And it's such a calm, peaceful, balanced space that I didn't have when I was in the pain and the fear. So you start to open more and more in that space of love and 0 point balance. then you can open to the abundance the universe is trying to send to you. When you're all blocked up, right? You're all wounded. You can't even receive what the universe is trying to send to you. And I wasn't. I mean, I even had these conversations with my heart self going, I cannot manifest for shit. Like, what the heck? And they're like, well, you magnetize what you carry inside your heart there, and your heart's all closed up, sister. So that was where, like, oh my goodness, I've got some work to do, some heart work to do. But then you start to magnetize in what supports you, what feeds you, what nourishes you.
Do you want to go first? Because I have so much to say.
Jump in, go for it.
This is such a good conversation. Okay, so I'm going to pin something on the wall because I want to come back to it. But there is this thing, like I just had this thought. I was like, oh my God, you know, when we start on our healing journey and there's so much for us to process, that's the time where we get to really learn how to re-nurture ourselves. This is where we get to give ourselves, learn how to stand in our boundaries, learn our self-honoring choices, learn our hearts, learn our deepest desires, and really, really honor who we are. And that healing journey, like you get to learn how to really deeply care for your body, your mind, your spirit, and then you can become a vessel or a container to hold others. And so I just thought, like, kind of like clicked in my head is, you know, I'm sure many of us, both you two included, but all the other maybe healers or transformers or coaches or therapists that are watching right now, or even the people working, is like the delayering of the perspective, the delayering is so important, and to give yourself some time to do that, to be compassionate and loving with yourself, because this is going to take some time. Again, it's dense. Human bodies and brains are dense. It's all made of fat, or it's slow and oily. And then what I really wanted to bring back is this, what you said early in your share is you don't have to do it alone. And for a lot of us, me included, that there was this idea that you couldn't be vulnerable, or you couldn't share, or you couldn't, there wasn't as many people helping. And not everyone is going to be your flavor. Like out there, like maybe working with Dawn is better than working with me, and maybe working with Ben, you know, it's going to be your flavor. But again, if you're feeling alone in your journey, reach out to your friends, or reach out to a coach, reach out to a practitioner. You know, I've said this before probably a zillion times, but the best growth that I ever had was when I had a therapist working on the back end and a coach working on the front, and we were just like moving through things. So again, I don't know if y'all heard it yet. You don't have to do your journey alone. You don't have to walk this path alone. If it's a freaking struggle and you're hating it, you don't have to. We're tribal, right? We get to do this together. So you don't have to struggle. We've got you. Here, have a hand.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Oh, beautiful.
Because I also found that when you're just starting out and you're working on the layers, that shame is very strong. And I had a lot of like self-deflection, self-rejections, you know, this kind of stuff. So I wasn't doing self-care. That even came to me. You know, I was not taking care of myself through this. And so that's where you do need the nurturer to help remind you, you know, whoa. So especially when you do a big healing or big clearing, I make sure I give myself a couple days afterwards, because I know I'm going to be processing that. I know I'm going to be tired. I know I'm going to be, you know, moving through a lot of energy. And so I've learned now how to be present with myself, loving to myself and caring for myself. But yeah, boy, in the early years, I didn't even have a clue about that. So I'm so glad you brought that up.
Gosh, this conversation is so reminding me of my younger years. Just like I'm reflecting as we're talking. Oh, she left. I'm reflecting as we're talking around, you know, in the 90s, like, you know, I got my first modality was Reiki, and I got attuned to Reiki, and I was like channeling, like in my sleep, I was like, literally, my ex-boyfriend woke me up, was like, what are you, because I was literally doing Reiki in my sleep over him. Like my hand was like this. And so I was definitely, awakened. I had been praying since I was young to like activate my soul's purpose. I was listening to like I am meditations then, and like practicing kundalini yoga at ashram. And I was doing all these things, really activate myself and call it in. And I like cleaned out this whole room of my house and made a meditation spot. And I would sit in the morning and meditate. I was in my 20s when I did this. And I was really, really clear that I was like, this is the path I'm on. No one, you would have told me then that I would be doing what I am today. I would have been like, no way, I didn't know where it was at all. And I had a lot of cleaning and clearing to do. I had so much inside that I had to shift out of and clear. There was so much heavy intergenerational trauma and patternings in my own field that I had to work through. And it took me from that 20s period to honestly 45 to crack the code on what that was in my own family DNA in my body. Like, the DNA that I came to heal and shed. And let go of.
Ancestral
I could fully step forward. So I could fully step forward into service, and now I'm aligned in loving service and really giving from that place, because it's like the soul has moved in fully to like allow that that to come forward, the authentic self, right?
Yes.
And so it's just amazing to sit and reflect on my journey of like, wow. But I had this knowing inside all along that I just kept showing up for myself. No matter what, no matter how uncomfortable, I would just keep following a little breadcrumb trail that my spirit was directing me to follow. And was like, oh, go over here and see this healer. Oh, go over here and do this. And oh, do this now. And oh, do this now. And I would just keep doing it. Even if it made no sense to anyone else, it made sense to me.
Yes, and it's also encoded into our soul blueprint in our light body. So it's, in a way, we were already designed and coded with like a roadmap. It gave us, in a way, a plan to follow. Those are the impulses we get, right, and the insights we get, and the nudges we get. And it's happening both from within us, and then also from the spirit guiding us to it as well. It's like it just took me over. I could not do it because it was in me running already. It had already been activated and it was taking over. And so I think that's also, you made a great point about where, we kind of unburden these layers, especially as you mentioned, ancestral lineage is huge. Generational patterning and programming is huge. Unburdening all this, getting these layers off, deprogramming ourselves, basically. We create this beautiful crystalline vessel for the soul to merge in and begin to live through us. And I get this question all the time. Well, how do I know my soul purpose? And I'm like, until you get your soul in, it's kind of just a concept at that point. How would you know? You have to actually merge. You have to integrate and become it in a way, right? To have that come through you and guide you in your purpose. So it isn't, like you said, when we start out, we're not merged yet. So we have no idea what the purpose is. We don't know what our soul gifts are. We don't know what our soul wants to create yet. So doing this process brings the soul into the heart, where then that gets all lit up and activated, and you can now get to know who you are, just as it's like, kind of, I think of it like the soul starts to see through the eyes and speak through the voice, and radiate from the heart. You begin to learn your own divine self by merging with it.
Yes, beautiful. I really want to give a little nugget. I'm reflecting on something that really helped me at that time when I was in my 20s and really calling on my soul purpose. That was my major. I would get up in the morning and meditate to that and really call it in. I was really dedicated because I I just felt so strong. It took me over. I just had to do it. And so I remember at night, before I fell asleep, I did this for a long period of time. I would pray to the ascended masters that really assist my soul's lineage and what I'm here to bring forward on the earth. And I would ask for them to take me to higher levels of learning while I slept. And so it was like there was always healing going on while I was sleeping and integrating and helping me bring forward. So I would wake up the next day with more insights on the path to take, steps to take. And so I've never really shared that openly, like in this conversation, but I just wanted to leave this in this drop, that little nugget, that's such something you could do nightly in your bedtime intentions to really activate you to call it forward even more.
Absolutely. That request is in a way a part of this opening to receive in the abundance flowing to us. Yes. So in a way, you've opened the energetic door with that request and you start to receive the blessings coming to you. Excellent nugget.
Yeah. Yay. What did you have to say, Trish? I know you were had a lot of things going on in there that you wanted to add.
I know. I'm like, it's like the way that my brain works is something that I both love, and also I'm like, can you slow down a little bit so I can grasp something? It's like catching really quick butterflies. I'm like, I like it. It works for me. It's one of my little
superpowers.
For some of our viewers and our listeners who are wondering, because I'm going to start moving towards letting Meg share, but I'm going to, I'm going to start moving the conversation there. Is like, for some of our viewers who are really like, OF, I don't know where I'm going next, or I don't know what to do. Where do I find my tribe? How do I lean back into this? I'm scared. I'm afraid. I need safety. Like, what would you say to them?
I would carve out some space to begin to meditate. I think we can't do this without meditation. And if you don't, if you're living with other people and you don't have privacy, maybe going to, a park or somewhere where you can get into, even if you have to go sit in your car, just getting into some quiet, private space where you begin this tuning in, right? You just get quiet and you start to tune in and connect to what's going on inside you, and then also more of the higher planes of spirit. Everyone has a spirit team. Everyone has angels and guides supporting them. So again, just kind of as Dawn mentioned, make the request. Okay, I want to start to connect to my own higher self, my own spirit team, and asking for that. Ask every day. Ask for the support. Okay, you start getting the lines moving, right? You're opening up more of your chakra channel when you can breathe, get quiet, get still, connect inside. Because part of what the 3D 4D plane has done is it's disconnected us from spirit. So we have to actually, proactively reconnect. So anything that you can do because also as you mentioned, Trish, you have to begin to create a safety space for yourself, because you haven't been I didn't feel safe in the world because of the abuse and all that I grew up in, right? So you need to, the kind of the more adult you, the wiser, higher you, needs to create some type of safe space for you to go through this process. So it could be an actual space or it could be an energetic space. So one of the first things I did too is, as this is part of, kind of elevating into more of the 5D operating system, create an orb of light around yourself. Just start creating an energetic boundary around yourself so you can contain your life force inside. You're not, draining out, right? You're not leaking out. You just create, it looks like an orb of light around you, your boundary. Then you can start to do the healing work inside, because you're like, okay, that's what helped me heal the heart, because my heart was not going to release the guardedness, the armor, the emotional armor, until I felt some safe space. So creating the boundary, the auric shield, auric boundary, then I was like, okay, I can relax in here now and start doing the deep work. So that would be one of the first things I think I would recommend. That's where I was guided to start as well, Trish.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Powerful. So true. Yeah. We have to feel a sense of safety to be able to let down and let go, and release, because the armor is going to show up, because it's the ego's way of identifying to protect you.
Yeah.
And it won't let go, release, unless you actually feel a sense of safety, which you have to create for yourself.
Yeah.
So,
and use your
wonderful feedback.
Use your imagination, use your visioning. We're also kind of leaving that left brain analytical mind. We're starting to use more of our right brain, which is our holographic intuitive brain, our psychic brain. So that's what we use to visualize, is our right brain. So start getting that, practice with it, start working with it, begin to meditate and use more of your visioning right brain. And that's what I would do. I would get up in the morning, I'd ground onto the crystalline grid of our new Earth timeline, and I would visualize that orb around me before I went out the door. I made sure I had that around me before I started my day. And then I'd get into bed and I would visualize it around me as well during the sleep state. So and by locking that vision in every day, setting that intention, it finally took, and it's there all the time. To start to use that more of your intuitive psychic right brain as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm loving this conversation, because I think that sometimes, just on a side note, sometimes the more some of the spiritual language, or the sort of like, you can get on this side, it feels so far away for many people.
Oh yeah.
And it also can feel bypassy if it's not rooted in something physical.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people who are still in very dense places, and they're like, I want to get to where Meg got, or where Trish got, or Don got, and I don't know how to get there, and it feels so out of reach and feels so like woo, you know what I mean? Like, that they're like, why are we being left behind? I mean, again, that I know that that's their own stuff to work with, their own belonging stuff, and a way to really be inclusive, to bring those people in, is to really root it in the body and to root it in that heart-centered connection. So I'm just freaking loving this.
Yeah, it has to be grounded spirituality. I think I've never really kind of fully immersed into the New Age community. It was a little too wooey for me, even though what I'm doing is pretty woo. But it was just kind of like, you guys are like flying high in the astral plane, man. You need to, we call it the ascension, but it's really an ascension, descension. You need to come back down in and bring heaven to earth, folks. Okay, get back into the body, get in here, because otherwise you're like you said, it is some bypassing, and it's dissociating. You're not really becoming the divine being that you are. You're leaving. So yeah. I'm glad you brought that up at that point.
Oh, I'm so glad you brought that up, because it is so true. Most people have this concept that we're leaving our body and ascending, and it's not that way. It's actually opening the channel and bringing it into physically embodying the authentic self.
Yes.
Yeah. So wonderful.
Glad we made that point.
I'm all about embodiment. I don't want to check out of this plane. I really like it. There is a lot of sensation in this thing.
Yes. The magic is in here, folks. Okay. Yes.
Slowly oxidizing swimsuit has a lot of sensation, and I like it. I like to move it. I like it when it hurts sometimes. I like it when it's like vibrant and alive. It makes me, that's what allows me to recognize that I'm alive here.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
The
What
construct.
a tax way to live, right? When you're all lit up with that kundalini, right? You are emanating a powerful force field, like you are on it. You're magnetizing what you need. Like, yes, let's go as fast and far as we can with this power coming in. Yes.
And it's literally, I'm just going to go back to this computer idea that I was going through. It's literally downloading or taking out old software that doesn't exist or isn't really relevant anymore. Just because you're running whatever Trish 2.0, you know, oh, I can actually upgrade from, you know, social constructs and beliefs that I had from childhood or even like things that I developed out of fear or protection. Like I can upgrade, you know, so sometimes it's like I have to go from 2.0 to 3.0 to, and sometimes you're going from, I haven't upgraded and like updated my software in like 5 years. Now I got to go from 2.0 to 6.0 and you're like, woo! You know, it's like that. And it's
Great analogy.
But it's true.
it's kind of like, are we allowing our old running mental software to run the show? Because the software here has a lot of just really old things. You know, like, I don't know if anybody's still running DOS, but that's an old program.
Yes.
And old programs are having really clunky times. Like it's crunchy to run it in 2022. And I think that you all understand what I'm getting at here. I mean, maybe it's like, I don't know, too out there, but there is, you know, like some of us were still running Firefox or whatever it is, you know, there's a lot of things that we can upgrade with the help of another person or just by starting with meditation, calming your nervous system. Nervous system regulation is incredible, especially in a time of deep transition, especially in a time where things are shifty and maybe you're scared or you're frightened or you don't know what else to do. It's like this place right there, that safety in your body, nervous system regulation.
So true. So true. There's
Ding,
all that in that nervous system. Yes, so true.
It's all about your body and your heart.
Gotta-
I'm wondering if you would love to share something that you came here to share.
I can walk us through a quick crystal heart activation if that's something everyone would like to experience. It's
Yes.
okay. All right, let's do it. Okay, it's I'm going to be using the Metatron's gift to us. This is an ascension tool utilizing Metatron's cube. Just real quick, the image that'll help you kind of use that right brain and image. You know, get this in your imagination. So we're going to use Metatron's cube to activate more of the light body. And if you can look inside here, let me go over here. There's the heart crystal. It's at the center of your Merkaba torus. And so think of it like the main engine that's running your energy body, your light body. And it also works like a portal to the quantum field. And this is where I was talking earlier about, you know, being able to receive what the universe is sending us. That's why we have to do the heart healing. And that's why we want to get that heart crystal activated. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and walk through the steps. I'll guide you. So we've been having fun and chatting. Let's just kind of focus inwards now instead of coming into our bodies and into our hearts, into our feeling self. And before I activate Metatron's cube and it opens up an anti-clockwise vortex around your body and aura, we do want to ground because otherwise you might, you know, feel a little airy or vertigo or whatever. So we're running our energy down into the core center. Let's keep going down, running the energy down the channels, down to the feet chakra. And imagine that you're placing your feet chakras right onto the crystalline grid of our 5D and higher new earth timeline. And if it helps, you can even imagine, visualize roots of light coming out of your feet chakras, and they're getting in and connecting into the ley lines of the crystal grid. And you should start to feel like you're kind of pulling down more into your hips and into your body. There you go. So you're getting into earth energy, grounding into the base of this new timeline, which is the crystal grid. All right. I'm going to use my breath. This is where we're talking about kundalini, moving the kundalini, using the breath. So as we're getting present, getting grounded, Metatron, our beloved Archangel Metatron, will step in. He's going to embed Metatron's cube, sacred geometry under your feet and your grounding. It's made of, if you can see here with the big one, it's made of 6 outer circles, 6 inner circles, and a center 13th circle. So imagine you're stepping right into the center of Metatron's cube. There you go. And getting your light into it, getting your chi into it. Starts to turn it on. And those 12 circles start to rise up as pillars of light up and around the body and the aura. And they're working almost like tuning forks. Imagine that. They're humming and pulsing and vibrating with the phi harmonics, PHI, the phi harmonics. So we hear this with our human ears as the Om tone. So pillars of light now up and around you, Om. And as they start to pulse with the sacred tones of Om, they begin to rotate, and they're going to move right to left around your body in an anti-clockwise spin. And there they go. We're starting to get them spinning up. And as they accelerate and go faster, they're beginning to blend. We kind of lose the distinction of the pillars, and they begin to become a vortex, spinning vortex of diamond white light. And there it goes, spinning faster. And this begins to where it's designed. This is called the quantum vortex. And it's designed to balance you, but also kind of works like a blender. Think of like it's unifying all your bodies, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. It's starting to create union inside you, balance inside you, and just let it spin real fast. It's also starting to open and expand the field up and out into the higher dimensions. So this is where we begin to ascend. Your feet are still on the grid. Opening out. There we go. Opening out. And now we're going to take it to the quantum level. Okay, we're starting to really spin towards the speed of light and begin to transmute and release all the veils and time density, time barriers, and open all the way out to the quantum level. Whew. Just let that release through you, all the way through the body. Ooh, there it goes, updating. And it starts to open us to both the physical particle field and the spiritual wave state. So now we can access both spirit and physical realms simultaneously. This is where we're using both the left, right brain. Physical and spirit simultaneously. So let's start to open this channel of ours, right? This chakra channel, this is the center of your energy body, center of your light body. So let's bring a spiral from Metatron's cube up to the root chakra. And we're going to spiral up, anti-clockwise again, spiral up the channel. Our job is to clear density out, trauma out, all right? So as you're spiraling up, hold your command to clear out density out of the chakras, spin it out into the vortex, clear out density out of the chakra channel as you're moving all the way up to the top, 12th chakra, 12th stargate to your higher self. Your higher self is the gatekeeper there, up at the top. Ooh, there we go, all the way up. Make a connection to your higher self. Your higher self is opening the gate to your beloved galactic soul, made of light and sound. Your soul is made of light, your signature light. This is your soul blueprint, your soul light, and your sound waves, your tones, your frequencies, just connecting to the divine I am that you are, your soul light and your soul frequencies. And now we're going to reverse, start bringing that down. So now you're in inflow, right? Inflow, inhale, breathe in, receive down and in a stream of your soul light. Your soul frequencies filling into all the chakras in the body, spiraling down, filling in. So this is the descension where we're talking about bringing it in you, as if your soul is kind of sitting into your hips, dropping right into your root chakra, pelvic floor. Woo, there you go, right into the hips. And tuning inwards to the soul energy, soul light, frequency, or soul pulse. In the center of the body, let's come to the heart. center. We're going to work with that heart crystal I mentioned. Okay, coming into the heart center. Let's bring a nice flow of your soul light, your soul frequencies to just breathe it into your heart. Filling the heart with more of your beautiful light and love vibration, your soul essence, your soul presence, your soul consciousness. Ooh, imagine the heart's like a container. It's just filling with beloved soul energy. And it starts to kind of help lift these layers we were talking about, right? So let's just do a quick clearing. Just allow any fear or anxiety in your field and in the body and the heart, just kind of rising to the top layer. Just using all this spin momentum and using the light, your own soul light and the diamond light of source also washing down through us. Just locking your focus on what you're ready to clear, any blockages or barriers, any wounding, so any trauma that might be coming up. And we use the power of the spin momentum to command out, spin out, flush out, release out, let go into the vortex, and it spins it back into the God light, transmutation light. Oof, you might feel a release coming off. Just let it go, exhale out, breathe it out, release it out. Anything that's ready to return back to the divine light of source. Anything that might feel that was like armor or was holding you stuck or blocking. Yeah, just here's another layer. Exhale out, release out, spin out into source light. Ooh, there goes another layer. You guys are doing great. It's ready to let it go. We want to get deep inside to that heart crystal. So focusing in deeper. And everyone is here from another star system. If you're drawn to this work, you're most likely a visiting starseed soul. And you're designed with your own soul blueprint, right? Your own soul blueprint is designed with your own original galactic bloodline, your own code, as I mentioned, kind of like your own life plan. And this is where we can start to activate more of our soul purpose, right? All in the blueprint held in your core here. So let's bring more of the soul light, your soul frequency, your soul light. I always see the soul light kind of like a golden white light, letting that go right into your heart center. And let's get it right into that heart crystal that's in the center of the Merkaba, the double star tetrahedron, center of your blueprint. Oh, there we go. I can feel it moving in right now. Okay, just breathe that in. Inhale that in, bringing more of your soul light activation into your crystal heart. It's the center of your light body. It's the engine of your Merkaba Taurus, and it is your sacred gateway, your sacred portal to the quantum field of all that is. Infinite possibilities. Ooh, it's getting another surge going right in. Inhale it in, breathe in that powerful light into your crystal heart. And with our intention, our purest intention, we command that our soul crystal heart ignites, lights up, turns on, and activates, running on our soul starlight. Right. There we go. It's turning on. Your vortex is spinning this in to take hold. Your feet are grounding it into your life, making it earthbound, and the activation will continue way beyond our meeting here today. So just letting that, let's just set the intent that will continue to light up, open up, activate, and serve your highest good from this point further. We set that into motion now. And so it is. And so it is.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Mm. It's our guest says, I don't know if you can see this. Thank you for sharing all these ideas and insights. What is your favorite modality to deal with challenges and disconnection with the body? My heart and spirit, when the body feels not aligned with the rest who are positive.
Well, my favorite modality is my own, working with Metatron, doing this technique. It's called quantum access. And it helps you with all those things you just mentioned. It's helping, as we just experienced it, helping you unify the body, heart, mind, wherever we've been disconnected or splitting out or fragmented or dissociated. It helps pull all of you back. And that vortex goes both ways, right? It spins out what we're releasing. It pulls in all that we are from all our timelines, right? Really integrating and unifying us.
Amazing.
I realized that I was all muted there when I was telling you about my experience.
Oh, I didn't hear you. Oh, okay. What were you saying?
Ooh, I feel all.
No, it's warm and tingly in there. Love it.
Oh, here. Melissa says, "Thanks. I have released so much trauma with you."
That's we need to pay attention.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We're offloading lifetimes of that. So yes, I'm so glad. And the beauty of this too, this vortex is like a time machine. So it's opening around all, I call it the incarnational wheel, right? It opens around all of your Akashic records and incarnations held within your field. So we're not having to kind of go piece by piece, right? It really just, especially we were mentioning like lineages or programs. Let's say you had like a lack program running for multiple lifetimes. When you work in the vortex, you're working on all those lifetimes simultaneously with that one program. So it's not where you have to go. And, when I first started, I had to go into each timeline and work on all the different, but since 2012, everything is accelerating so fast that now we can really kind of pull out long strands of lineage now at once. Thank you. So things are moving much quicker and easy. Yeah.
Oh,
I know.
I've been doing a lot of, I'm not going to take up the show with the things that I've been stripping away of some of the, we'll call it social constructs or the historical narratives from,
Yes.
way past that my family just passed on to me and the society that I live in, and even like the culture that I grew up in Montana, like some of these beliefs that were just really not mine that are pervasive and running on the underneath. I was like, I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
Update.
Yeah.
So if you love
Yes.
you're loving how awesomely you're being held by Meg, I invite you to check her out on all of these links. So one of the places that you can find her is megbenedicte.com. That's MEGBENEDICTE.com. And without spelling out all the rest of them, you can find her there. And tell us a little bit more about what they're going to find on your website in Quantum Access and New Earth Central.
Yes. So Meg Benedicte is my own welcoming website. So you have there years and years of my blogs, a lot of information about this process is in my blogs. And also I've been doing a podcast for 10 years, 11 years now, since 11/11/11, that is taking you into a meditative journey where we go to the great central sun, we go to the galactic center, we work with source in the source stargate, and we work on ourselves and we work on the planets. This is where a lot of starseeds come and join me every month. We do these every month, where it's part of your purpose to actually influence the field and create this new earth. So you might feel like, I'm a new earth builder. Okay, well, that's one of the ways that you can fulfill that purpose, is starting to actively get in and recreate the field. So we do this work monthly, as I mentioned. So you can see that in the events section on the website of what's coming up. We have the solstice coming up this month, and next month is a Syrian Lemurian activation, because we move right into the Syrian portal every year. It happens during the summer. So, and then of course there's 8/8 Lionsgate, one of my favorites, coming up in August. So these are really big gateway activations that you can join me and work with people all around the world. It's very, very fun. Also too, there is, of course, I do take, and I'm still, actually, after 25 years, I am still taking some private client work. I am still doing some of that as well. And there is my academy. So at quantumaccess.newercentral.com is the academy. And there's all kinds of self-study courses you can take and work on your own pace, going through exactly what we are talking about. So there's courses on shadow work, what we've been talking about, or how to get in and clear interference out of your energy field, or how to, right now I'm working and will publish, I'm hoping next month, inner child healing. Like, this stuff is, it's part of this process. So the academy has a lot that you can work with on your own as well. So thank you for highlighting that.
Of course. Yes, it's really great. Beautiful, beautiful opportunity to dive in and do deep healing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Especially,
Thank you for,
because there's private work, right? You can do the coursework, learn the healing protocols yourself. There's meditations there that you get in the course, and video. It's full of goodies that you can work with on your own. But the monthly event is a great way to join other New Earth way showers, other star seeds, and really feel, oh, this is my tribe, right? Really start to feel a community building. And I think that's also what seems to be growing stronger since the pandemic started, right? That pandemic is definitely part of this ascension process, where it's decomposing that old power system. And we're now at the field is so like fertile and vibrant for us to come together and find, now that we can really build community. So I'm thrilled that is also seems to be, as like what you guys are doing too. It's really starting to take off.
mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Thank you for loving us.
I know, so wonderful.
I've been like,
yes, I'll do.
Yeah. I've been thinking about
love.
I've been there's this thing
I know, it's
my love letters.
Aw. There's this thing that I've been thinking about for a while, is investment, and investment of time and energy, and what are you investing in? So just thinking about, it in this way of like, I truly invest in Dawn Light, and I truly invest in myself. I truly invest in Meg's work and bringing you here so that you can be seen by the people who watch us. Because again, we don't know who viewers, listeners are gonna benefit from. And that is really the focus, is that we're benefiting you, that for free, so that you get the work, you get the understanding, you get the handheld holding, the community, which is like the self-love show community, so that everyone has the opportunity to learn and grow and get the quantum healing or the trauma healing, or we had a domestic violence last week, so that everyone can get something from where they're at to meet you where you're at. And so we're invested in love, in the love of you all. So thank you for investing in us, Meg. I really appreciate your time, and your energy is
my pleasure. My pleasure. And it is an investment. You're right. It's an investment in yourself and your future, what the life you're creating and the world we're creating together. It is worth the investment of your time and focus and energy. It'll all, because we're moving into the circular system. So whatever you give out cycles right back. So it's investment in yourself.
Yes.
It pays dividends over and over and over and over again when you invest in yourself. Like, it's just the gift that keeps on giving. So if you're on the fence about investing in yourself with a coach or a therapist, or, you know, because I speak to people all the time, you know, I'm actively coaching full time in my practice in my life. And it's the conversation that always is like the nervousness to have a high level investment in self. And it's like, I can honestly say I did it over and over again to get where I'm at. And it's so worth it. It is absolutely 100% billion% worth it to invest in yourself in that way and believe in yourself. Even if you don't see the byproduct just yet, it will come, because it's just the gift that keeps on giving. Once you start doing that work, healing back the layers in your life changes. So I know that your work in the world is impacting so many beautiful people. It's incredible to hear that you're 25 years deep. Like, yes, sister, yes. I just acknowledge you. I acknowledge all that you've poured into this to build this academy and all the juicy nuggets that you present to people. It's incredible. And I'm really, really proud of you, and so grateful to be your friend and assist your work out into the world.
Thank you. Oh, I just felt the big warm heart rush. Thank you so much. You guys are beautiful.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you. And I hope viewers got this, just the upgrade today from experiencing your lovely activation. Yay.
Yes.
Warm and fuzzy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what we're promoting for you today.
Oh, okay. Yes. I didn't know if you were going to say something. It looked like you were about to talk.
Yeah, I was kind of
yeah. Yes. So for those beautiful heart-centered women out there that are seeking expansion and growth and wanting to really learn to lay down any patterning that's been in the way of your relationship, you know, relationship struggles, that's like a key point. You know, if you're showing up as imbalanced and you're ready to kind of peel back the layers of what that is to really create a role reversal in your relationship, if you've been in a long-term relationship, or say you have an outstanding kind of pattern that's showing up in your relationship, this is also for you. And so I'm still taking on one-on-one VIP for the Unleash Your Sovereign Queen program. I have a group. I'm in a group process right now. I'm carrying them through for 9 weeks, and I'll launch again in the summer or late summer, fall possibly, do another activation, 4-day activation. But for now, if you're just still curious and want to have a conversation around how to be supported and what your next steps are on your healing journey, then let's talk. You know, I'm going to put my booking link in the chat here, and then you just go ahead, and it's a free chat. I would love to support you to give you some next steps, regardless of the program or not. It's important to just get another ear and another beautiful heart attuning to what's going on in your field, and to really access, oh, what about here? Go here. How about this? And it's a game changer in anyone's life to just get some extra support. So I really want to extend that to you today. Mwah.
Do you want to send that link?
Oh, yes. 1 second. I will post it.
I'm in her program right now. It is profound. I know that there's people who are watching on the show right now who are also in it. And it is we worked on trust last night, and it was amazing, powerful, lots of releasing, lots of tears. She also gives you an opportunity to learn how to facilitate some of these things as well. So it's not just you walking into this, getting a whole bunch, but it's like you learning how to do this for your friends and for your loved ones, and becoming a better facilitator as well. So check that out. Also, making your way to the Facebook.
Spiritual training.
Say that again.
I said it's deep spiritual training. It's going to give you tools of empowerment so that you walk away and have like an access point to soul-centered living, so that you actually become the soul-centered being you're seeking to be in the world and have better communication skills all around, better listening skills, better communication skills, and better just accessing your self skills, sourcing.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And jump into our Facebook group. It's free. It's here. We have lots of amazing tools in there. If you're, been a woman that's been struggling with trust issues on any level, we have an amazing, 30-day trust calendar that's free, that's in the group. We would love for you to give it to you. So come on over to the Facebook group and join us. We'd love to have you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you both so much for your time and your energy. And thank you all on this show, watching and listening, and for showing up for yourself and for showing up here in this space. For your healing is our healing, and our healing is all healing, as one of my favorite medicine women would say. So thank you so much to Sign Network and Scott Katamas Love Coach Academy and the Global Peace Tribe for running us out, for really being, investing in us and us investing in them. Thank you so much for the opportunity, for the deep love and support. Like, I couldn't do this without you. And again, we will see you next Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a good night. Or have a good day first. Bye.
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 Oh, I'm sorry.